How does a computer work? Computer became a part of us, part of the world's modernization, I guess. But how does it work really? I've always wondered, how does a computer work? Because what our eyes see, it's not everything. So let us show or tell you how. Computer system is a collection of components that is designed to receive, process, manage, and present informations in a way that everyone could understand. The three categories of the computer system are the hardware, the software, and the peopleware. But let's move with the computer hardware. Hardware refers to the physical equipment and devices used in a computer. It provides support for the computer's function and can be classified into four categories: the input devices for data input, the processing devices that process raw data into information, the output devices that displays the processed information, and the storage devices that store the data. Further information about the four categories will be discussed later. But now, let us introduce you to the heart of every computer, the motherboard.
Motherboard or Advanced Technology Motherboard, a motherboard that follows the same design until 2013 form factor that was in the original IBM 80. In the era of IBM-compatible personal computers, the 80 factor compromises the dimensions and layout of the motherboard for the IBM 80. Let's move to the next topic, the Baby 80 motherboard. The Baby 80 was the first PC motherboard to build in sockets for I/O ports, which were cabled connectors on the back of the case. Widely used in 386 and 486 and early Pentium PCs, the Baby 80 was superseded by the 80X motherboard. Or Advanced Technology Extended Motherboard, the PC motherboard that superseded the Baby 80 design. The 80X layout rotated the CPU and memory 90 degrees, allowing full net expansion to be plugged into all sockets.
Now let's proceed to the Micro 80X motherboard. What is the Micro 80X motherboard? In computer design, Micro 80X is a standard motherboard form factor introduced in December 1997. The maximum size of a Micro 80X motherboard is 9.6 x 9.6 inches, 244 x 244 millimeters. However, there are examples of motherboards using Micro 80X designation despite having a smaller size of a 244 x 205 millimeters. Now, for the BTX motherboard or the Balanced Technology Extended, a motherboard designed from Intel introduced in 2004 that supersedes the 80X. Unlike the 80X, the placement of all chip sockets in the BTX is defined in order to provide sufficient airflow over the processor and graphics card. Micro BTX and Pico BTX provide smaller form factors. Now, what is BTX motherboard used for? A BTX motherboard positions its internal components in such a way as to also allow the CPU heatsink and other hot running chips to be cooled by a single airflow stream. The idea is that, in addition to the power supply's internal fan, it should be possible to cool an entire system with just a single chassis fan. Now, what is Mini ITX motherboard? Mini ITX is a compact motherboard configuration designed to support relatively low-cost computers in small spaces such as in automobiles, set-top boxes, and network devices. The Mini ITX can also be used in making thin client computers.
Hi guys, my name is Erika V Gacula and I will share to you what is Nano ITX motherboard and Pico ITX motherboard. What is a Nano ITX motherboard? That is one of the example of Nano ITX motherboard. Nano ITX is a computer motherboard. It was first proposed by VIA Technologies in March 2003 and ended up seeing the light of the day in late 2005. Its measurements are 12 by 12 cm or 4.7 by 4.7 inches. Some of the prominent features that Nano ITX computers showcase are: they are fully integrated, low power consumption with several uses, useful for smart digital entertainment devices like media centers, car PCs, set-top boxes, and thin devices to name a few. And the next type of motherboard that I will share to you is Pico ITX. What is Pico ITX motherboard? The Pico ITX motherboard is a small size by 86 embedded motherboard that is 10 cm by 7.2 cm. This board carries the processor, cache, memory, a variety of video interfaces, and several different I/O. These Pico ITX motherboards were introduced by VIA Technologies in 2007, developed by VIA to be up to 75% smaller than the previous Mini ITX platform. It is smaller than the Mini ITX and the Nano ITX form factor, which drives the ability to deliver embedded system designs that pave the way for compact applications. And now, after what I have shared to you, what do you think is much more better? Pico ITX motherboard or Nano ITX motherboard? And that's will up to you.
Let's proceed to the motherboard. Motherboard is one of the most essential parts of the computer, for it puts together many of the crucial components of the computer to make the computer run.
This is the SATA ports. This is the PCI and PCIe slots. This is the front panel connector. This is the ATX or power port.
This is the CPU, and this is the CPU socket, and this is where the processor is mounted. This is the NOR bridge. This is the one of the two chips that manages the communication between the CPU to other parts of the motherboard. If there is a north, of course, there is a south. This is a south bridge. It is responsible for the hard drive controller. BIOS. It is a set of programs that provide basic instruction for your computer.
Hi guys, today I will show you the different types of input devices, and we will get to know how each input device looks like and its purpose. This is also the most common input device, the mouse. A mouse is typically used to control the motion of a pointer in 2 dimensions. Webcams are capable of taking pictures as well as high-definition videos, although video quality can be lowered compared to other camera models. This is a set of headphones, typically with a microphone attached, used especially in telephone and radio communication. This is a set of headphones, typically with a microphone attached, especially used in telephone and radio communication. The most commonly found input device is the keyboard. Everyone would have already seen and used the keyboard. A keyboard is for putting information including letters, words, and numbers into your computer. A keyboard is for putting information, including letters, words, and numbers into your computer.
And now, I will show you the different types of output devices, its purpose, and how does it look like. The most commonly found output device is a monitor. As you can see here, this is a monitor. A monitor is a display screen that displays output from the computer. Computer monitors could be CRT monitors or LCD monitors. This is another familiar output device that everyone has encountered, a printer. As you can see here, this is a printer. A printer is used to print information on a paper. Commonly uses either lasers or inkjets to precisely place ink onto the page to recreate text and high-quality images. This is a projector. You will see this in seminars and conference halls. This projector is a device that is used to project video output from the computer on a much larger scale. This is another familiar output device that is in much use today, a headphones. These headphones are a pair of small speakers. They are used for listening to sound from a computer, music player, or other electronic devices. And lastly, speakers. As you can see here, this is a speaker. They are used to produce high-volume audio output.
Primary. In computing, memory is a device or system that is used to store information for immediate use in a computer, related computer hardware, and digital electronic devices. The term memory is often synonymous with the term primary storage or main memory. An archaic synonym for memory is stored. A modem is a card, an internal type of modem that is plugged into the PCI slot for PC motherboard. A modem is a communication device that allows a computer to send and receive data through telephone and cable lines. Random access memory, or RAM, is a type of data storage used in computer that is generally located on the motherboard. It is the main memory used by computer for quick access since in much faster to read and write than other forms of storage, between 20 to 100 times faster than hard disk. ROM stands for read-only memory. It used to store the startup instruction for a computer, also known as the firmware. Most modern computers use flash-based ROM. It is part of the BIOS chip, which is located on the motherboard. Programmable read-only memory, or FROM, is a read-only memory ROM that can be modified once by a user. FROM is a way of allowing user to tailor a microcode program using a special machine called a FROM programmer. Flash erasable programmable read-only memory is a type of non-volatile storage chip that functions as ROM read-only memory but can be erased and reprogrammed.
May I present the presentation about secondary storage primary. So, number 1, USB. A USB flash drive can store important files and data backups, carry famous settings or application, run diagnostic to troubleshoot computer problem, or launch an OS from a bootable USB. So, hard disk. Hard disk drive is probably the most important component to your computer. Without it, your computer will never be able to save any files. You will never be able to boot up your operating system and will never play a game or download a file. Floppy drive were used to store data backup and important information regarding the data, although this and storing the disk was at the time the best way of retaining information. The medium was considered efficient due to its relatively larger capacity of 1.44 MB and its cross-platform compatibility. Optical disk drive, or called ODD, in a computer allows you to use CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs to listen to music or watch a movie. Mouse drive also allows you to write a data to a disk, so you can create your own music CDs, videos, DVDs, or even create a backup copy of your important data files. So, the last is memory card. It provides permanent and non-volatile medium to store data and files from the attached device. Memory cards are commonly used in small, portable devices and such cameras and phone. A memory card is also known as a flash card.